Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising. Today is a new day to start again. It is 6/6/2025. Halliburton. I love that. His name is Halliburton, but Halliburton because he keeps making the final shot. And it could be called Halliburton's, or he could be. He is an Indiana legend. The game one winner wins the series, is what I said going into this game. If the Pacers have any shot at winning the series, they got to win the first game. And I even said they got to do it in kind of a sneaky, it was all logical stuff, but I'm writing the Pacers story. Pretty cool. Unreal. I've watched 4 of the greatest comebacks in my basketball watching life in the same season. And nobody's even talking about Nembhard, who had this, I've watched the playback of he had this like video game, like little step back, and he tried to do it twice. The second time actually turned in because that Pascal, he was really huge in like 3 different moments and was actually probably the MVP again. When I rewatched it, they all had really important plays, but he actually had the most. He had like 3 in a row that were critical to everything in and like it did. Not to take away from Halliburton, he's an amazing talent, but just it's crazy. It was an incredible game, actually. If you got to watch it, if you're a Pacers fan and it was very similar to, and I also thought about this morning. It was very similar to like the movie Hoosiers at the end when Jimmy Chitwood, that's not what his name was. I don't want to spoil the entire mood by mispronouncing or missaying the actual person's name. But in the movie, he goes down and he goes, first of all, the coach is trying to drop some play, which they could have called a timeout, and many coaches would have in that spot. But instead, they just went and they go. And it was basically like, and then everybody knew where the ball was going. It's going to Halliburton. They gave it to him. He went around and he had the guy on him, and nobody really knew what was going to happen. And it's like the guy that was guarding him said, he was like, he just made a great play. And everybody just let that happen instead of the coach getting involved. And it was kind of like that point in the movie where the coach was starting to get involved and everybody just, the guy says, I'll make it. I'm going to make it. So just give me it. Give me the ball. We've been doing this. And the reason why we're here is because I make these shots. That's really the proof of it. So I just think it was really incredible. But there's probably 3 other people that I think would have made that shot. Maybe 4 on the floor that they had. That's what makes them so good. But they're just giving it to Halliburton every time because why would you not ride the hot hand? That's just what you do. I'm impressed. I'm very impressed with the team, all in all. It's just an incredible thing to watch. I don't want to overplay it, but I've been watching it for about 2 years, and I've just been, ever since they got Halliburton, something changed, and then when they got Pascal, they already had a good team, and they have a good coach, so. My life is in a weird spot right now where I don't want to get into it. It doesn't matter. I'm not here. I'm blessed. I'm so blessed, but I just financially, I'm in a really kind of just in an awkward position. We'll just put it that way. But attitude is everything, and just keeping yourself grounded and knowing I'm going to be patient. I just feel like as long as I keep doing what I'm doing. But I do know you have to initiate sometimes if you're in a bad situation, if things are unsustainable. And sometimes I have rode too long into areas that were unsustainable, and I knew they were unsustainable and had people tell me they were unsustainable. So I don't want to do that again, but at the same time, sometimes you have to just allow things to happen around you first. And so there's a play between both of those. And I've been successful at times in my life. And I think that as long as I have faith in myself, I'm going to be successful again. I got plenty of time. So I'm trying to and then I have this Pacers things going on, and I don't even get into this kind of stuff anymore, but I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So why worry? Why am I going to worry right now? I'm just going to live my life. Attitude is everything. I got these 2 cats that are getting along very fondly now. They're starting to form a relationship, and that's making me happy. I've got an 8-hour workday. I've got short work days. I've got the lightest work schedule I've ever had in my life, really. So, and I have the least amount of responsibility being put on me. And so I'm not making that much money, but I don't have any expectations. So, but I have great expectations. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing right now. I'm at a pace where I'm getting stronger in a lot of ways, and I just need to be ready for when it's my opportunity. So anyways, what I'm looking forward to is an evening at my home so I'm going to compartmentalize my workday, and then I'm going to enjoy my evening at home with my kittens, and I like my flowers. I'm going to do some trimming. I may even remow again because we had a good rain. I looked at the weather and it looks pretty promising, so I was a little sad this morning. Mainly because I really don't have anybody in my life that I get to share these moments with. So, and I'm really trying to enjoy my moments, and it's okay. I'm just trying to, sometimes when it really gets down to it, I'm lonely and I'm poor. So that leads to sadness. That's just, and who was that? I was talking to somebody that's going through a really difficult time in their life where they're losing a lot of people and they're going through a lot of remorse. And it was their birthday, and they talked to me for a second about it. And you don't want to make light of the situation because they're in a very difficult situation. You just try to say that you do your best to enjoy it. It's all you really can do. And try not to delve into the pain for longer than you need to. And so sometimes it's just very difficult to keep moving forward when it's so difficult. So I don't know why I brought that up, but that's why I think compartmentalizing your moments is very important, so that you know that there is something that's going to happen after this and that. It is difficult though when you don't have anywhere really to go to find peace. When you don't have the opportunity to be alone, which is what some people are starving for. Here I am alone all the time, and there's other people that are with somebody that don't want to be there, that stay there because they have to. I'm trying very hard to live a life of genuine purpose. So I'm just really having a difficult time with this being poor and being lonely, because for me to find somebody, there's a woman that I'm interested in, but I have nothing to offer. And so I don't even want to, I feel like there's been a couple different movies and moments in movies where a guy is made to feel belittled because he even asked, because there's just the girl looks at him like, what are you doing, dude? This would never happen in any universe. And that's not what I'm afraid of. It's really just the fact that I'm not going to go to somebody that's really successful and say, you should give me $100,000 a year, because I don't have anything to offer for you to give me $100,000 a year. So I'm not going to go ask. But it's the same thing with the lady. I'm not going to go to a lady and be like, do you want to get together? I might have to walk there because my car needs brakes and I don't make enough money to be able to really do fund my life like on a week-to-week basis, let alone make improvements to things that are hurting, like my brakes in my car, which is really not that expensive to fix. And it is what it is. I just try to keep moving forward and make good decisions and try to be analytical about how I'm using my limited funds moving forward to try to keep myself in a reputable state. That means keeping employment and trying to be successful in a situation where I have struggled to have success. So I devote myself to good conduct. I strive to grow and improve every day. And I don't need anyone to see me or recognize my good work, honestly. I just want to keep moving forward. When I do a good job, I know it. That's one thing I think I have gained an appreciation for in my life. There's been some things that I've done that I think were very commendable, that I got no financial reward for, that I put in effort into, that really turned into being nothing. But I think that I gained from that, because if you can learn how to do something where you knew you did a really good job and you don't need anybody to tell you to, or even give you any reward for it, when you walk away, that's what the Tao teaches you. You just leave that behind. You did a really good job. It's very funny. I'm going to bring it up just because I'm going to go against what I just said. At American Freight, there was this warehouse that I was working at, and I was only there for about a month and a half. Or 2 months. I did a lot of videos on it while I was doing it, and it was this really dusty, nasty warehouse that actually ended up getting condemned, or whatever you want to call it, and cleared because it was so bad. And the employees were bringing it up, and I was kind of downplaying it while I was cleaning it all up, and I got it all fixed up. I shouldn't have even been in there breathing that shit in my lungs, but I did. And I gained nothing from that. Like, I was totally underpaid for that whole situation. And what ended up happening was the store, after I left, ended up just dissolving. So, and I figured that probably was going to happen, was partially why I left. I mean, it was just a weird situation but what I did though, in that place, I was making major progress. There's not what I dove into and did, and nobody even really saw it. That's what was kind of a bummer, is like nobody really even saw it. And that was a moment where I don't know. And that was where, I don't know, it was a tough time in my life where I don't know what I should have done there. It was just a really weird situation. After my employment with Mattress Firm, I was in about 3 or 4 different times where I tried to get a job or was in a job that just, I had a really big conflict really early in the situation. And I was just in a point in my life where if I saw something that I didn't like, my cutoff game was like, no. So sometimes you have to play against your principles, and maybe I was going with my intuition too much, but I don't know. It is what it is. I'm landed where I've landed. I don't really have any, but where I'm at right now, the reality of it is I am poor and I am lonely. Those are just truth. And I have a couple of cats. I've tried to help with my loneliness, and that has helped. I encourage anybody, if you have the proper situation, getting yourself 1 or 2 animals if you can take care of them. And cats are a good one because they just are very self-maintenancing as opposed to dogs. Not that if you get into a really good spot in your life where you feel like you can, I don't feel like I can own a dog right now. I don't have the ability to really own a dog. I need to have a little bit more security in my life. I think that you have to be, I'm not alone. I'm not a loner enough. I still have to do things in my life and try to be present in situations where I am not going to have the ability to financially take care of a dog. I'm also, so basically at the job I'm at, I feel like I'm a very talented savant, maybe an idiot savant, and I've been relegated down to like this position where I'm like the checkout person at a grocery store where they're trying to bring in people that need a job that don't have the best social skills. And so I'm in a position where I'm just basically fielding customers coming into a store but I also I'm helping. So it's just a weird situation for me. Just put Clark over there and hopefully he doesn't make too much of a ruckus. I'm trying to live a minimalist life. And for the most part I'm really trying to reduce how much money I'm spending so I don't need as much. I do have kind of a plan. I'm not talking about it in these videos because I've learned that you're supposed to, one of my biggest critics when I only have a few people that comment on these. I've done them for a long time. And one of them that was kind of done with me at one point or another left one of the comments was basically that you shouldn't talk about what you're going to do. You talk about, I think he said you talk about what you've done, but I don't even think you should talk about what you've done. But I do understand giving my cards out of what I'm trying to do. If there is spiritual play and I am illuminating myself to the spiritual realm, which could be a possibility, that things that are beyond what I can know that are going to have influence on me, then I should probably keep my mouth shut about things I'm trying to do. I guess, I don't know. If I have enemies. I don't really think I have any enemies. I have the rough makings of an idea of something that I could do that I might be able to make financially workable. I just have to figure out a way to apply it, but I do have a rough idea. I have some talents that I could monetize. I might look into singing Touch of Grey. I've stayed away from great albums and great songs by great bands because I don't want to like karaoke them. But there's no reason why, and I think I identify with that song, so I'm going to work on that. And let's leave it there. I thought this might be like a 8-minute video, but it's way longer. Hey, man, the Pacers, they're in the finals. They won game 1, which is what I prognosticated for. And I think that we have a really good chance of winning the championship. So I'm going to try to go to work, do my best with a good attitude, contribute, show my value, know my role, and then work through my work shift. I need to try to utilize my time better at work, and I have some ideas for doing that. I've not been dissatisfied with what I'm doing in my off time because I am working through things in my head and trying to figure out ways to not go crazy because I'm not making any money. And so I need to figure out a way to make more money. But I'm not trying to worry about trying to make money. I'm trying to enjoy my life. So all of this is trying to work together at the same time. And so all I can really do is show my value and be a good worker. I have a job. That's a big plus that I have right now. That's good enough for now. I don't have to work on anything else outside of that because that's all I can really do right now. I'm very grateful, actually. There's been some people in my life that have given me opportunities that they didn't have to give me. And they gave me a little bit of standing, which I really needed to pursue my life purpose, which is to show the way. That's what I really am dedicated to doing, is I want to be kind of like Halliburton on a much smaller scale. Like, I don't need that limelight and don't want it, but he's handling it very gracefully. He's going to have to be careful because, man, you're going to have a hard time not getting the head of ginormous SSG. But he does seem very grounded. And he's been through a lot, so I don't want to overplay. You don't want to make people into gods, but you do want to recognize it and try to. Greatness is amazing because it can just really. There are ages of gold. There are golden ages, and I am gonna bet that there were influencers in those that, you know. So I'm just very grateful. I just want to show in my life something similar to that, to the best of my abilities, in as many moments as I can contribute. And I want to give. I've learned a lot through what I've done, and I've learned a lot of grace. I've learned a lot of wisdom. I think I can be helpful, and it helps me guide my steps. A life of guidance. I want to show to everyone that being grateful is the abundance. And if you're grateful, people will witness that. And that is just in that. That's all you really need. And competence. Tom Brady said, as long as you're competent, you just be competent at what you're supposed to be doing. The things that you're supposed to be doing, you be competent. And that's what Halliburton did. He was just competent. He'd worked very hard at doing that. That's what he was doing. That's his role. It's amazing. And it was game recognizing game is what that guy on the other side, I don't even know how to say. All these people, I don't know how to say any of their names. Halliburton is probably the easiest name to say. Tyrese, Halliburton. But like even McConnell, just how do you spell McConnell? How many N's? How many C's? Is there one capital? It's just crazy. There's so many weird names. Nimhard and Naismith and Miles Turner's not too hard to say. But is it with a Y or an I? Have a great day. Do great. Be great. Go Pacers, baby. Boom, baby. That was so awesome. I said the F-bomb. In the very end, when Halliburton got the ball and he was going, I go get fucking game one. Let's get it. And I was like loud in the bar and everybody heard me and I stomped on the thing. It was pretty awesome.